This was indeed an attack on our nation.
There was bodies falling down. The guy next to me was shot, and that's when I dropped, and I made sure that I had to crawl my way out.
Today, as Americans, we grieve the brutal murder, a horrific massacre of dozens of innocent people.
And we will not be defined by a hateful shooter. We'll be defined how we support and love each other.
A solemn day for the nation. Another senseless mass shooting, this time in Orlando.
50 lives taken, one nation coming together to condemn the terrorist and console the victims and their families.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John Huck.
I'm Christine Medella. We get right to our team coverage tonight. We have crews on every angle of the terror attack in Orlando.
But first, we take a look at what happened inside Pulse Nightclub.
Now we have active firing shots outside.
Sunday, 2:02 a.m. Shots fired at Pulse Nightclub. More than 300 people were inside.
All you hear is gunshots. All you hear is gunshots.
An officer working at the club opened fire at the shooter and a gun battle began.
This did turn into a hostage situation.
Boom, boom of bullets.
2:09 a.m. The nightclub posts an urgent message on Facebook. Everyone get out of Pulse and keep running.
Didn't look back, just ran to get out of there.
2:22 a.m. The shooter calls 911 to pledge allegiance to ISIS.
All you saw was people running and screaming, and there was bodies in the parking lot.
3 hours later, the SWAT team confronted the suspect.
Our SWAT officers exchanged gunfire with the suspect. The suspect is dead.
7:15, Orlando police announced multiple people died in the club. 10:15, authorities identify the shooter. We learned 50 people are dead, 53 others wounded. Diane Gallagher is in Orlando.
Now 22 hours since the deadliest mass shooting in American history, and you can see the roads still shut off here. They are still investigating at Pulse Nightclub, about a block and a half behind me here. In Orlando, people are grieving. They are wondering if their friends and family are okay, and we are starting to get a better picture of the gunman.
June 12, 2016 marks the worst U.S. terror attack since 9/11 and the worst mass shooting in American history.
It was just one after another, after another, after another.
Police say the 29-year-old Omar Mateen opened fire inside an Orlando LGBT nightclub. He was armed with an assault rifle and handgun. Police engaged in a shootout with a gunman outside the club, but somehow Mateen made his way back inside and took hostages.
After everybody was out, the shootings were still going, and the cops were yelling, "Go, go, clear the area, clear the area."
Some tracks sent frantic messages to friends and family for help. After several hours, SWAT team officers broke down a door of the club with an armored vehicle and shot and killed Mateen. Now, police say that Mateen was a U.S. citizen of Afghan descent living in Fort Pierce, Florida. Since 2007, he worked as a security officer. The FBI investigated Mateen twice for potential ties to terror, but those investigations were closed. During the shooting, Mateen called 911 to pledge allegiance to ISIS. And those in Orlando and across the country say, despite the violence, terrorists will be stopped.
Attacks on any American, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, or sexual orientation, is an attack on all of us.
And again, we only have 8 names of the 50 people killed in the deadliest terror attack since 9/11 at this point. They're coming in very slowly because, in all honesty, 50 people, a lot of families to find tonight. Reporting live in Orlando, I'm Diane Gallagher. Back to you.
And tonight we are hearing disturbing details of violence and abuse from Omar Mateen's ex-wife.
Sitora Usafine says she was married to Mateen for just 4 months before she was rescued by her family. Fox 5 Cindy Lundeberg continues our team coverage and joins us live in the newsroom with how Usafine is reacting to news of today's massacre.
Usafine said at first her and Mateen's marriage, everything seemed normal, and then a few months in, she says his mental instability, it became very clear. According to her, she believes he might have been bipolar, and she says he was physically abusive to her in that relationship. She also says she got out of that marriage because her family literally pulled her out of Mateen's arms and put her on a plane.
Instability, emotional instability, sickness, mentally, he was mentally unstable and mentally ill. That's the only explanation that I could give, and he was obviously disturbed deeply and traumatized. When he would get in his tempers, he would express hate toward things, toward everything. So in that respect, you know, yeah, but it was at the moments when you would see his emotional instability and turning totally different.
Usafine says at first Mateen began buying guns and firearms because he wanted to be a police officer. And she also told reporters that she found out about this massacre because her parents called her and told her that her ex was involved. Live in the newsroom, Cindy Lundeberg, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Thank you for that new information, Cindy. Also today, hours after the Orlando massacre, police arrested a heavily armed man who told officers he was headed to a gay pride parade in California. Police say James Wesley Howell from Indiana was found sitting in a car with 3 assault rifles, high-capacity magazines, ammunition, and chemicals used to create an improvised explosive device. Santa Monica Police Chief Jacqueline Seabrooks initially tweeted that Howell told officers he wanted to harm people at the gay pride event, but she later said that was inaccurate.
The suspect did make an initial statement to the effect that he was going to go to the Pride Festival. Beyond that, he did not make any additional statements saying that he was going to do anything further than that. We do not have any additional information related to what his intentions were.
The suspect was charged in October for pointing a gun at someone, but police say this incident is not connected to the deadly terror attack in Orlando. Brendan Jordan lives in Las Vegas, but was in Los Angeles today. He tells us he was planning to go to the gay pride event. He heard about the attack and decided to come home.
I think when stuff like this happens, it's really, really sad, but also it builds us up as a community and makes us stronger, makes us want to fight to really get our rights and really just tell everyone who we are. And honestly, I'm more proud of myself for who I am than I probably was yesterday with all of this news.
Jordan says he keeps thinking about what ifs. What if he had gone? What if the person had intentions of carrying out that plan? But says he's thankful none of that happened.
The tragic news of the mass shooting in Orlando hit home here in Las Vegas, of course. Tonight, hundreds of community members and elected officials gathered for a vigil at the center. Fox 5's Miguel Martinez-Valle was there. He continues our coverage tonight with more. Hi, Miguel.
Hi, John. Hi, Christine. Well, that planned out attack, that terrorism attack of hate, it targeted a very specific, very marginalized group of people in Orlando, but it also targeted the bigger community, all of us as a nation. And that's what people were coming together to say today, to stand strong and to show solidarity and show that they're fighting for equality and they're there for each other. Take a look.
Act up, show up, participate in hate. Act up, show up, participate in hate.
The largest mass shooting the nation has seen was driven by hate.
Tonight we feel violated.
Now a community comes together to heal through the power of love.
We will not be defined by this coward's action.
Just hours after at least 50 people were killed in a gay bar in Orlando, the center in Las Vegas brought hundreds of community members, elected officials, and local activists together to mourn and to act.
Now it's time for us to go to work and make sure we're doing whatever we can so that these types of crimes, this type of violence, is eradicated from the face of the earth.
For some, the hate crime proves that even a year after gay marriage was made legal in the U.S., the LGBTQ community still struggles for absolute equality.
Because there's still a lot of discussion that needs to be had and understanding, because I truly believe that hate is overcome by understanding.
For others, it served as an urgent reminder of the growing violence across the nation.
We need to do something to pull this country back together, to try to get a handle on this violence situation, on the hatred that seems to be so prevalent right now, and do whatever can be done to bring people back together.
That is where you're coming from.
And while the tensions did flare over the topic of gun control, the major message of the night was that of love, acceptance, and pride.
To the LGBTQ team who may be out there who is scared tonight, I would say, I'm in your shoes, I was in your shoes, I'm with you, I stand by you, it gets better, we will heal together, and you have an army behind you who will not let you down.
It was truly a very inspiring night here at the center. Now, the center offers services to the LGBTQ community and their allies from Monday through Saturday during the week. Reporting live, Miguel Martinez-Valle, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
Miguel, thank you.
Nightclubs in the Valley and on the Strip are now tightening security. Fox 5's Abby Tedros is live at Piranha Nightclub. She talked to local members of the GLBT community. Abby.
Hey, Christine and John, we spoke to several members of the gay community, and they are absolutely in mourning here at Piranha Nightclub. They're buffing up security in an effort to prevent something like this from happening in Las Vegas. Here in Las Vegas, some owners of local gay bars and clubs are on edge.
It was in Florida, but it hit home for all of us. It made me believe that, you know what, if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere.
Angel Gonzalez is the general manager at Piranha Nightclub. He says while they're in mourning, they're doing what they can to discourage copycat shooters.
I'm upping our security as if it were a weekend. Normally Sundays are a little bit easier for us, but again, just because of the incident that happened there, I am taking security up to our maximum level that we have.
Gonzalez says Metro is helping too. They're increasing patrols near Paradise and Naples, an area known for its gay clubs.
Scary, very scary.
Chris Rosas owns Share Nightclub in the same area and says he's now reevaluating security at his venue.
Of course, we need to review and review how we screen people here in the future. Absolutely. And, I'm not going to rule out anything, whether it's a metal detector that people walk through or whether it's people are screened.
And in a statement, MGM also sends their prayers and support to the gay community. I spoke with a man who was partying at the gay pool party at the Luxor today. He tells me he's never seen that much security there. He had to go through a metal detector, which he's never had to go through. He also said that he noticed a lot more security guards. So everyone's definitely feeling the pressure. Reporting live, Abby Tedros, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Certainly unnerving for all of us around the country. Abby, thank you.
And in the wake of the Orlando shooting, many of you are probably asking, how would Nevada and Las Vegas handle a mass shooting? And that's what we wanted to find out.
So Fox 5 reached out to Caleb Cage. He's the Homeland Security Advisor for the state of Nevada. He tells us he doesn't know just how many people the FBI is monitoring for terrorist ties, but he also told us Governor Brian Sandoval is very aware and very concerned about keeping Las Vegas a safe tourist destination.
Well, in the state of Nevada, there are a number of threats that we have identified from the state level and that we work with local partners with throughout the state. Those threats are some, again, natural disasters such as earthquake, fire, and flood. Those are significant. On the man-made attack or the man-made threat side, of course, terrorism is a concern. Cyber threats are a concern as well. There is a number of threats that we have identified that we need to be prepared for here in the state of Nevada.
Cage met with the state director of public safety today to talk about the attack in Orlando and how to prevent one from happening here. He tells us the state is working with local and tribal partners to continue monitoring and identifying extremists in Nevada.
On social media, community leaders are posting condolences. In one tweet, the Nevada Highway Patrol wrote, "Thoughts and prayers to the victims and the entire Orlando community." It goes on to call the shooting a senseless, cowardly act. The official Electric Daisy Carnival Twitter page shared a similar message. Our thoughts and prayers are with Orlando.
In the wake of this tragedy, Governor Brian Sandoval directed all flags to be flown at half-staff pursuant to President Obama's proclamation. This will continue until Thursday, June 16th, as a mark of respect for the victims of the attack here in Nevada and around the country. Right here on the Strip, the link is showing its support to the victims. The High Roller will be illuminated in rainbow colors until 11:15 tonight.
We want to remember the men and women who died this morning. We'll be sharing their names throughout the newscast.